Hey guys, Indiana here. We're back again for another pay-per-view review. This time we're doing Payback 2020. There's a reason why we're doing the live stream format. Even though I didn't promote this, I promoted my one Wednesday, but not this one. That is because of I thought when we were doing this that there needs to be a little bit of a better format to how we do it. And me and Matt talked about it for a second. Now, I basically just sprung it on him, Lord bless his heart. And we decided that we wanted to do live format. It helps us get the video out faster. I don't have to edit it. And you get to see my faces, which is something you don't see anymore. But so we'll go ahead and jump into the pay-per-view now that I know we're officially alive. We have one watching, too. Look at us go.
That may have been when I don't know. I think that's kind of like a Twitch thing. We talked about that on Twitch the night. I think they just give you a ghost viewer, or it could have been when I just tabbed into I just got the notification and I tapped on it, but then I hate hearing myself.
Who
So
knows?
I probably won't watch it, or won't be watching it live. I don't know. I like watching myself, but yeah, it could just be that ghost viewer.
I like watching. I like watching you. We'll link Patric's Twitch in the description. I did that video. Y'all go please support Patric. First match, and Patric's basically going to do all the reviews because I missed this pay-per-view for the most part. Is the United States champion Apollo Crews, who is the champion, versus Bobby Lashley. What do you think of it?
Let's see. So on a grade 0 to 5, right? We did say 0 was the option because we had, I think, close to 0.5.
Yeah.
Yep. I would have to give it. I mean, nothing spectacular. Not a bad match though. So solid 3, I guess, right in the middle. Just about all I can say. I mean, it was a change of championship. Didn't really expect that. I think it's kind of going. Keep that storyline ongoing. You got to just meet in the middle, really. Just basic. I mean, it was. Like I said, it was actually a good match. Which to me, Apollo Crews, that was something I was watching. I was thinking I got to mention this. I'm hoping which Apollo Crews is getting a push more so than he has since like his run with John Cena. I think so he had against the United States Championship like 2016, 2017 that may have been. But I mean he's a good wrestler, especially for his side to be like his muscle mass to be that high of a flyer and acrobatic. I like watching him wrestle. Or
yeah,
he's not so
really
much wrestle. He does a lot of like he don't do much the old style wrestling. But I like his style basically, and so a lot of his matches are good.
I like his style too, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Apollo Crews. We're going to kind of run through it. It wasn't a very long pay-per-view, so and of course Patric's the only one talking because I didn't watch the majority of it. But next is Big E versus Sheamus.
Wouldn't say it was. Now, actually, CBS had it rated higher than the previous match, but I mean, I was in and out of it, just like maybe a 2.5 on that one. I say go 2.5 stars on that.
Well, that's not a bad.
Like I said, it's not bad. It's not bad. Like I said, I don't think there wasn't really any on this card actually. It was, call it a hot take, maybe a very hot, very very like piping hot off stove take for some people. But I may say it's maybe it was better than SummerSlam. I don't know. Just the match qualities. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I think
maybe not one outstanding match. I think SummerSlam was like a few outstanding matches and then just drop off. Whereas this was.
Well, the thing about this is, it was shorter. They focused on the matches, and they were just able to control the matches. But SummerSlam, it felt like it was SummerSlam, but at the same time, it didn't feel as special as normally SummerSlam would. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, and then they didn't do anything like WrestleMania had the whole Undertaker and AJ match, and then you had what was the other one? Oh,
Bray versus John. But big things happened at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre became the WWE champion. Braun Strowman became, the Universal Champion. And the Fiend did regain his Universal Championship at SummerSlam. And I popped for that. But at the same time, I think that was the only thing that really happened on that pay-per-view. No, not a lot of titles switch hands. The only match that really had a big match feel was Braun versus Bray. And their match on this pay-per-view was better than that one.
Yeah.
So, you know,
the breaking of the well, we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later because me and you, that's the only one you can talk about. But with that, what do you? Oh, you've already rated it. It's 2.5. It's not bad. Yeah. Remember, people, 2.5 is not a bad match. 2 and under is usually a bad match. But next we have King Corbin versus Matt Riddle. How do you push a super talented superstar? You put him against Rest Hold City. No, you don't. King Corbin is a great heel. He's a great mid-card heel. Let me rephrase that. Keep him out of the main event. Golly, that was awful. But, you know, he hasn't really done anything with this King Corbin bit.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Well, okay, so back in the day, winning King of the Ring usually meant you're going to win a title sooner or later, usually a world heavyweight title within a year or two. And then soon after winning King of the Ring, you win a mid-card title. It was supposed to be a stepping off point. Now it's more of a that's all you get. Yep. And Baron Corbin,
it's like you're not good enough to win a title. Here you go, have King of the Ring.
Well, he's just not done anything. He's lost almost every feud he's been in, and he just hasn't done anything. So I couldn't really care less about it. Matt Riddle is a good superstar. It's just why put him in this feud?
And see what, I used to like Baron Corbin with the whole Lone Wolf thing. I really love that character. And like when he'd walk out, and I remember he changed his entrance. And his entrance song was good. His second one was, I guess you'd call it. His third one, it's like a little mix of kingly splendor, I guess you'd call it mix. But the new one, but his first one, like the entrance, all the way down from the entrance, he still got the same moves. I still like his move set as far as the deep.
He's got a great finisher.
The
it's
deep.
Just he's really too hard into the King gimmick.
Yeah, I don't like the gimmick. Even the corporate gimmick may have been a little bit better than the King gimmick, and I didn't like corporate gimmick. I just the Lone Wolf gimmick was so good when he'd walk out there. Had no friends, not even other heels really were friends. He was just by himself. He walked out there. Red light, the red circles. There's like 4 red circles down the stage, and they turned wide as he walked into them. That was just.
He's got to find his gimmick that fits him. He hasn't really had a good gimmick since the Lone Wolf.
Yep.
The King gimmick I thought was going to be good until they just didn't do anything for him. He lost his I hate this name. He lost his feud against Shorty G. I can't even tell you what he did at WrestleMania. I know he was in a match, but I can't remember it. It was that unspectacular.
And speaking of Shorty,
every feud he's been in since winning it, he's lost.
He has lost a lot of feuds.
The King of the Ring needs a stepping point. It has to be a stepping point because if you use it as a crutch, it does not work. The only person able to pull that off was Booker T, but at the same time, he won the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep. He was at the same time he was Booker T. He was just I mean, he's still interesting to watch just on talk shows now. So
Booker T's a great wrestler.
Yeah, you threw in the Shorty G part. Yeah, that's another awful gimmick move right there. And now they're helping each other. Now he's helping him, which is crazy. But yeah, the Shorty G thing. I mean, Chad Gable, that was a cool name. Why would you change the name, Chad Gable? Like I was like,
oh, I hate his ring attire now too.
Oh, yeah, that too. Ring attire, the name. I'm like, I would just quit and go to AEW.
You know why?
I just quit because of this. I just quit for this one reason.
Oh, I quit supporting him just because of that. You know why they changed it? His name? Mr. McMahon thought Shorty G was funny.
It is funny. I mean, it's comical, but not in like a. I wouldn't want to be considered comical.
Shorty G, yeah, I wouldn't want that to be my wrestling name.
Mm.
Vince McMahon also thought it'd help him get to the next level. I can't even make that up. He thought a name like Shorty G would help him get to upper mid-card status. And, once you get to upper mid-card, you can easily get to main event level, or usually. There's some people that are, bless their hearts, trapped in the mid card forever.
Yep.
But
I
I just
I
couldn't
think we've
care about
talked
the
about it
match.
before that he's sometimes stuck in the past. Maybe like 90s back, that may have been or 80s. That may have been a good wrestling name. Shorty G's out here, comes out with the whole
Shorty
pimp, the
G
pimp.
fits into the 80s WWE.
So what?
And Vince McMahon is a creative genius. I'll give it to him. But his most recent success is he'll come up with a great idea every now and then.
Yeah.
He still has the brain for the business. It's just I don't know if sometimes he realizes his mistakes. Like Triple H, if he does a mistake with a character or telling the superstar how to do their character, he changes it somewhat. Like he can adapt to it. Vince McMahon is like, no,
We're
I
sticking
think
with
this is a good character. You're stuck with it. And I hate it. Okay, let's get to what did you rate the Matt Riddle versus King Corbin match?
I didn't see much of that one. I
Let's
saw
just
a
give
bunch
it
of
a
lead
two.
up to it, and then it got to the match, and I was like, so yeah. I mean, I wasn't super. I mean, and I guess that being not super into it, and I'll be able to get super into it was just like another reason, what? Yeah, two probably because
Well,
not
that's
only
a
because I
bad
didn't see his
match.
butt, yeah, but I mean,
That's the whole reason. It's because I was like, it's legit in our notes as okay match and in the bad column of our match rating system. It's the whole reason I picked it because it's stupid. All right, let's get on to this before I lose my temper and we talk about Shorty G for like the next 45 minutes. All right, okay, a good match that me and you both can talk about.
Yep.
Women's tag team match: Bailey and Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax and Shayna Blazer.
Yeah.
I'll get it out
The
eventually.
chick with the black eyeliner, very dark eyeliner.
Okay. First
But the
off,
chick that could
great
probably
match.
also just break my spine or any other
Oh
bone.
yeah. No, I'm not making fun of her. She'll knock me out. But
Yeah, I thought it was a good match, especially
great match. Same.
for Nia. It was like
Yeah.
Nia in a match. I was just like, this may not end well, but she didn't do much from what I saw.
Injury machine.
It was it was mostly. I mean, like the main thing she did was, she kind of had Sasha out of it, and Shayna
She
had
stood to her
Bayley
strong.
kind of out of it. Yeah, and so Sasha's in the corner now.
That's what they need to do.
Shayna throws Bailey over to that corner. Nia comes in, like just clobbers them both. I was like, hey, that's about the only thing she can do. Great job. You
No,
great job implementing that. That's about the only thing she could do, and she did it. She does it well. So yeah,
they need to keep her to her strengths. Like,
yeah.
I don't really study her matches, so I don't really know what her strengths are. But just they have people there that it's their job to know a wrestler's strengths. Find her strengths and just keep her to it.
Yep.
Because bless her heart, her hard hitting offense has injured a lot of poor superstars, and I just think it's time for that. This has the same. I'm going to give it the same rating that we gave it last time, which is 3.5 stars, because again, its main thing. It's a main captivating thing that caught me is it's planning a future feud.
Which they definitely did.
That I really want to see.
I like that with the tapping out there.
It's
And
so
and then
beautiful.
Sasha's kind of like, why did you tap? Because both of them were in a. That was cool to see too.
Both of them were in the submission,
Yeah.
but really tap. This is storytelling at its finest. You know what? Let me rephrase that.
Because she's still got her title, so she's probably thinking, I still got a title. I'll be good. I ain't got to have two. I still got one. And Sasha's over there like, it's my only title I got left now. And you're tapping, you're losing it for me, And so yeah, it's definitely, and you can tell
Sasha commented on her Twitter. Someone posted a picture of, I think, WWE of Bailey tapping out, and Sasha commented underneath it, I didn't tap out. I mean, okay, I'm going to rephrase this. Well, I feel like I wanted to give it a 4-star rating, but at the same time, I feel confident in my 3.5-star rating. The reason I want to give it a 4-star rating is because that storytelling, it doesn't get better than that. Sasha, I'm just going to call her Banks. I can't say her first name for some reason. Banks didn't tap out. This was the only title she had. Banks was grabbing. This was her moment. This is her title. That's probably her mindset. Bailey, on the other hand, her mindset was, I still got a world heavyweight title. What's more important, defending that or tag team belt? I love the tag team division. I think titles need to be taken more seriously. But a world title is always going to be the top of the food chain. And so she was thinking, do I injure myself and lose my world title? Or do I tap out when I still have a title left? It's so beautiful storytelling. I loved it. And that's why I can't make a decision whether 3.5 stars or 4 stars, because I love it so much.
But like I said, the storytelling almost makes you want to bump to a 4, but it was definitely 3.5 stars a match, I believe. Sure, match in itself.
It's just, wow. WWE doesn't do this good storytelling. It usually never does. The last time they had a Banks versus Bailey feud. Yeah, Bailey versus Banks feud. Last time they tried to build it was horrible. They kept offering you it like at the very tip, and you just never got to get to it. Now they're building it up the way it should be. It's so interesting. It's so smart storytelling. It's not just like, oh, I hate you. It's you tap out. You cost me my title. You cost me my title. I thought we were friends. I thought you were supposed to help me. You failed to help me keep the world title. You failed. You just tapped out because why? Because you want to keep your world title. You're selfish. You're not really my friend. You're using me. When Banks turns face, I'm going to cheer for 100%. I cannot wait.
But the only thing that did have me a little confused on that is like, okay, I'm thinking she's going to be found her breaking point. She's like what you just said, what we both just said. As far as like, you were selfish. You ruined it for me. You blew my title. I didn't lose my title. You lost it for me. So you would think she's gonna turn and just beat up Bailey one night.
Yeah.
So then that kind of, like, most of the time that's a heel move, But I get, but we'll definitely, like I said, we see Sasha as the one turning face, and it probably will happen. But that's the way you see her kind of doing it. But then again, I guess some faces can turn on people and start beating the crowd as she gets behind them.
Well, it's very rare. Like they do this in a lot of feuds, but it's according on how they do it if they make it count. And the whole reason I think Banks is going to be the one that turns face is you can sympathize with her on this. Also, last time we had a Banks and Bailey feud, that dynamic was switched.
Yeah.
Banks was the heel, and Bailey was this Rocky Balboa level baby face. And I mean, that Iron Man match they had was legendary. And that's what I'm wanting, is for the dynamic to switch and for them to give us that, 4.5 star match that we know they can give us. And like, I'm legit like foaming at the mouth waiting for this match because they've already got me hook, line, and sinker. Yep. Whatever pay-per-view that match is on, I'm watching it. And I just can't think of a big pay-per-view coming up that's going to be on. Maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah. I hope too that after this, probably wait and let it keep your good storytelling. Don't try to throw in anything else to change it. But after this, maybe give Bailey a little something extra on her gimmick. Like there's just nothing to her gimmick. I like you've never seen anything with the wacky inflatable flailing arm tube man people. That's original, but you got to keep her heel. Of course, you can't have that. So like I don't know. She has nothing really. Like she's supposed to be some kind of goddess, like we sometimes what she wears, but then there's just no, I don't know. It's just like nothing.
I know what you're talking about. She needs.
Just needs something signature that's signature of her. There's not really anything signature. Like
I'm gonna say that you can say down had to turn heel, but it was worth it because at the same time there's no better image for Bailey turning heel, which who would have thought Bailey would turn heel like 3 or 4 years ago. She was the biggest woman babyface in the whole roster, and she cut down those arm men and they deflated.
But after that,
turned around. I mean, nothing. But I think what they should do is this world title reign of hers. It will go down as history as one of the best, or not one of the best, but a good heel championship run. Yeah. And I think after that happens, I don't see where she can go from here because her whole gimmick, as you said, is a bad person holding a world championship. And that's a good gimmick. A lot of people pull that gimmick off. But what happens after you lose that gimmick? There's some heels that are designed to lose, and that's the design of a heel. A heel is supposed to make the good guy look good and lose good. Like, okay, the story oldest time for WrestleMania, one of my favorite storylines of all time, is the bad guy has the world title, he has the WWE championship, and he's making your guy that you like know he hasn't. He's rubbing it in his face. He's telling him he sucks and his family sucks, and he kicks him in the face and butts him open, and stuff like that. I eat that up. Every WrestleMania season, I want to know who's the bad guy with the world title, who's the good guy with the going after it, because I want to cheer for the good guy. Kofi versus Daniel Bryan. You could not convince me Daniel Bryan was going to have a good heel world heavyweight championship run until then. I hated Daniel Bryan so much, and I wanted Kofi to win so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect. I loved it. They did Kofi horrible. They did him so dirty.
Yep, when they were just like, "Oh, Brock wants it back. Let's get back to him."
But no, the plan. I heard a rumor that the plan was from the beginning to make him lose to Brock that fast, and I'm insulted at that. That is stupid. They planned Raw. They planned that SmackDown debut. They planned big stuff far in advance. They planned that at WrestleMania when they planned to give him the world title. They planned on Brock beating him in so many seconds. It's stupid. Kofi hasn't ever decided he wants to go back for the world title. Even if he lost, at least he got a rematch.
Yeah.
He hasn't even got a rematch. In my universe mode, I gave Kofi a rematch because I felt bad for him. But carrying on to that, I don't see where Bayley can go from here, because she's going to lose the World Heavyweight Championship belt eventually. Everybody does. Yep. And she's probably going to lose to Banks.
Yeah.
Because Banks needs a good World Championship run, because she's never had one. Her 5 of them she lost them within a week or less sometimes. And this first one she had maybe was almost a month. The 6th one was maybe a month. She's a 5 or 6 time Raw Women's World Heavyweight Champion and has held the title less than any other champion I've ever can imagine, with 5 or 6 title reigns. So she needs a good championship run. It's probably not going to be a long one. Once you get off a long title reign, usually they don't keep it for long. They want to change it up some because you've had the same face in that division for so long. But getting back to it, hey, it is what it is. So are we still on that match? Yeah, okay. We already graded that match 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I was gonna say Shayna Baszler's. I mean, like, she always puts on a good match. I was gonna throw that in there. I mean, she deserves a world heavyweight title eventually. I don't know who is gonna. I mean, is she gonna feud with Asuka, or they're just gonna keep her, and maybe they're gonna make the tag team kind of relevant and keep her and make them hard to take. I mean, because it's gonna be hard. I don't see. The only way I see them giving them up is just like Shayna's gonna be like, I'm giving this up to go for, like, just hands it away and be like, I'm going for a singles title, because I just because they're not a team anyway, so that, they could just both of them be like, all right, we want it off of them, we just didn't want them to have it, so now we relinquish it.
Like I think with the women's tag team titles, it's just WWE doesn't treat it with any importance.
Mm-mm.
And that's the problem with too many titles they have. They have so many titles. Like, I can't tell you the last time I saw the 24/7 championship on TV.
R-Truth just went back. They stopped Akira Tozawa from coming into the stadium tonight. This dude, he was the ref, and he was dressed up though as like a security guard, and he's like, hey, who are you? You can't come in here. He's like, he holds up the belt. He's like, I'm 24/7 champion. Got all his ninjas in the car with him, and then he's like, sir, I'll have to get you to get out. He steps out, and then
what the 24/7 championship will be remembered for?
R-Truth.
R-Truth made that title so funny, hilarious. When I think of that belt, I'm going to be thinking, oh, that's when R-Truth cranked up his comedy and made me laugh every time I watched him.
Yep.
So, like, it's not going to be any other guy.
48-7, I-95 South Championship.
Oh, go listen to his talk show on the WWE Network. Priceless. He made Shayna
Yeah.
Baszler break character talking about fish. He was just sitting there. Now, how do you cook fish? I like it grilled. And I just busted out laughing. R-Truth is the funniest guy on earth. I love him to death.
Yeah.
I demand R-Truth get a United States Championship run before he retires. I will mark out to T. All right. Now that we have talked, do you have anything else to add to the women's tag team match?
No, I don't guess so. That's about it.
All right. Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. I'll put my 2 cents in and then I'll let you have it.
All right.
Keith Lee beat a 13-time world heavyweight champion. Yes, please. It's hard for me to believe that Randy Orton lost 2 pay-per-views in a row.
See, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Me either. But at the same time, that made Keith look so good.
It did.
And it also makes me think Keith Lee is going to be a future star.
Which we kind of already
How
thought.
many people come in and out of their first big pay-per-view match beat Randy Orton clean? Like,
yep.
Keith Lee finisher.
No,
Boom.
no
Drew
McIntyre interference.
Drew McIntyre didn't beat him clean.
Nope. It was
which is crazy.
It was a good one. I don't know whether it's quite. I mean, I can't say it was as good as I don't know. I just feel like the standard was, like you said, the 2 tag team matches on it, and so, and I don't even know if. I mean, the Dominic Ray is pretty good, but
we'll get
I don't know if I'm getting tired. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting tired of that, but that's why I didn't. Maybe it was just a surprise factor that made the women's tag team so good to me.
I think it was the storytelling and how they did it.
Yeah.
Lee and Randy Orton, though, it's not a bad match. I guess I'd give it 2.5 stars. It wasn't anything big, but at the same time,
I was gonna go 3 just because just solid, right in the middle, solid match, not bad.
Oh yeah, solid match. Okay. Let me revise it. 3. It's a good match. Put Keith over, made Keith look good on the national scale. Now they just got to give him a good theme song again, and I'll be behind it.
Yeah. That I don't know what they were
Well,
thinking.
the reason they took this because the band that plays his original one, which is beautiful, I love that theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's because WWE doesn't work with him anymore. If they change AJ Styles' theme song, I'm out. He should retire, give it up. I don't, because that's my favorite theme song of the company right now. If they change AJ Styles' theme song, I'm pissed.
Yeah. Well, who was it? What was the band? Which one? Let me look up.
CFO, some crap.
What's CFO? Okay.
Yeah, and they did AJ Styles. They've done half of the WWE's roster, and that's why they keep changing everybody's music because they don't want them to have the CFOs. Bands.
I'm not mistaken. Oh no. I thought so. No, please don't. They've got Aleister Black.
No,
they cannot change that one. They cannot. They just have to come up with I'll pay them the money they want just to keep that.
They get 50% of the royalties. I don't know how they did that with Vince McMahon.
And but when you said that, and I was like, when you said CFO, I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was already thinking in my head. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Aleister Black's. But then I was pretty.
Well, they've done some
more
of the
positive
best.
Because when I looked, or when I've noticed, he showed up tonight, beat up Kevin before he got into the match with Randy, and then wait, isn't that right, Randy? Yeah, I think it was Randy.
No, Keith.
Was it Keith Lee? No, I thought. No, Keith had Seth. Didn't no Dominic has. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he shows up and starts beating up on Kevin, and then last week he turned heel on him. I guess that was kind of quoted on his turn heel. So he hasn't had a walkout. He hasn't had his traditional walkout. So that kind of scares me. I don't know if they're trying. I don't know if they realize his entrance is so good that they're like, let's put this off till maybe we get something figured out.
It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Keith Lee's was considered one that fitted him perfectly, and they changed it. Now Keith Lee signed off on it, which I don't know if that's Keith Lee just getting to the main roster and being like, "Oh, I don't want to piss anybody off in my first week."
Yeah.
But I think it's horrible because CFO have written some of the best entrance music this past decade.
Yeah.
Like the only one that can compare to it is the guy who wrote all the Attitude Era's music, the Undertaker's music, so on and so forth, is the guy, like that legendary guy. And he partnered with WWE. So WWE needs to figure out what they're doing with their music department and settle it down. But let's try to get through these next couple very quickly. We only got 2 more left. Rey Mysterio versus and Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Rey Mysterio's dream match has finally happened. He wanted to tag with his son. I think it's a 3.5-star match. I really enjoyed it. But I think you have a point. I think the feud needs to end now. I think that was the ending, though. I think that was the ending. I hope it is, because it was so perfect. Rey and Dominic had their moment. Seth didn't take the pinfall, kept him strong, and the way he looked at Buddy Murphy after the match where they lost, he was just like, he's like a father and a son.
And he kicked him in the face. Buddy,
Yeah.
He got on him tonight. He told him he didn't want him in the ring. He didn't want to hear him. He didn't want to hear his voice. He didn't want to see his face. Didn't want him ringside. Didn't want him anywhere close by. And then he slapped you in the back of the head. So I'm ready to see Buddy turn on him, because Buddy's. I like Buddy myself. Like that Buddy and Alistair feud. It wasn't very long because it kind of just turned into all this. It did literally jailed right into this, and they took their side, But I mean, that was a good little few matches. It was just like, here's some good matches. These two, we'll keep them feuding against each other, just in 2 different little stables, kind of. But I mean, you got them two that's just kicking each other's heads off in 2 different ways, because they have, Well, no, he does the knee thing, but he also does have some kicks. So kneeing, kicking each other in the face, there were some great matches between them two.
In my opinion, the tag team matches stole the show, except for we don't talk about the pre-show. I don't consider it part of the show most of the time. The women's tag team match is the best match on the show, I think, because of its storytelling. I think right underneath it, for me personally, is the Mysterios versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. If that was the end of that match, of that feud, it was a great ending. And I don't know if it's my heart being warmed, but Rey Mysterio getting his dream kind of match with his son, tagging with him, like he tagged with. I don't know if you know this, but Rey Mysterio's father wrestled under Rey Mysterio. So when Rey Mysterio joined, he was Rey Mysterio Jr., and when he got to WWE, he dropped the Junior. But, they wrestled together. It was Rey Mysterio Sr. and Rey Mysterio Jr. And so I think it was awesome that Rey Mysterio gets to relive that with his son. Now he's the dad, training his son and tagging with him and having this dream. Rey Mysterio has officially said it. He has nothing left to accomplish in his career. He's an acclaimed world champion, one of the best, if not the best, Mexican wrestlers or luchadors ever. And he's done the last match he said he really wanted to do, which was tag team with his son. So I'm interested to see when Rey decides it's time to hang up the mask, because now he has nothing left to do on his bucket list. His career, in his viewpoint, from his interviews, is complete. There's nothing left to accomplish. He might get another championship run, but highly doubtful. I thought they were going to try to give him a world championship run, but he had that great match for the championship belt with Brock that I was completely behind Rey for. I want Rey to beat Brock, which is what you want for the ultimate underdog. Then he won the United States Championship belt, and I thought that was kind of his send-off from championships. It was good. It was an okay title run. I think they did him dirty. They usually do with Mysterio. But I guess the heart in me wants to give it a 3.5-star rating, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. It was a heartfelt moment. Good guys win.
Can we go 3.25? Can we find that? Can we quarter? Can we quarter it?
I almost forgot my soda.
It's like, I do feel like it's better than the other threes, but
yeah, sometimes it's hard to rate.
Executive.
I agree with that.
Co-executive decision at 3.25. I'm making it a thing.
Oh, I got to send you something after this. It's a funny thing from a wedding. It's a prank that the husband did on his wife. You'll get a kick out of it. But with that, here's the match me and you going to talk about. Hopefully not talk about too long. we talked way too long about the woman match.
Yeah.
Is the Universal
There's so many
Championship.
variables to it.
There's a lot of variables to that one, and there's going to be a lot of variables to this one. While
Yeah.
me and you both like it, the Universal Championship, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. I ranked their previous encounter 3 stars. Patrick did 2.5, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so.
I ranked this one at 3.5 stars. I don't know what made them just like come alive in this match, but this is the best match Bray and Braun have ever had together, in my opinion. And this was before even Roman came out, and Roman added so many new flavors to this. The Roman and Paul dynamic
That's gonna be
is so jarring, and just like you sitting there and you're like because Roman, if they don't give Roman a script, he's a good talker. People give him crap about suffocating. They're doing the
I don't know. I
catch
think he's better at like just
But-
doing sometimes. I think sometimes giving him a script is messing up. I think sometimes you just kind of let him, have a little bit of that. I mean, like, because the Usos are, just let them coach him up, and I think sometimes that helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes you can tell you're like, were your cousins? Did they tell you to say that? Or they've been working with you? It was like because that sounded something like they'd say.
Yeah, like he just let him free reign it. Lord bless him. Stop giving him scripts. And 2, one of the best versions of Roman Reigns was Roman Reigns in the first reincarnation of the Shield. He barely talked. He was just so threatening and menacing. He would lean into the mic. Believe that.
And when he beat the Undertaker, which I know you probably won't, but hurts to bring up, but he didn't have to say anything. That was his best promo he's ever cut. He didn't have to say. I mean, I can't remember the words he said, but it wasn't even like it wasn't even 10 words. He just you went out there and it would just
my yard out.
I mean, he'd just get up teared people do before he could say anything. It was yeah.
It was the biggest reaction superstars gotten since John Cena. I'll give it to Roman Reigns. Once he beat the Undertaker, it pushed him over the ledge, and now he's kind of like John Cena and Brock Lesnar. You see him and you're thinking that's something special. That's a superstar. I hate using superstar, but that's a superstar right there. And when he came back, I legit thought that's the man. Yep. That's what they wanted. And I attribute that to him beating The Undertaker and him getting those big, horrible reactions for a face. But now it fits him perfectly.
Yeah. Was it? I can't remember if you were telling me or if I read it somewhere. Triple H saying that now there's not going to be apparently no more like this guy's the face of this era, thing. And I'm thinking, you may want it to be.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, you may want it to be like that, but I don't think that's the case because we all know. Which I mean, there's a lot of talent. You can say Seth could definitely be the face becoming or maybe
Seth Rollins is probably the next up under him. I think Bray Wyatt, once the Fiend gets his legs back under, the Fiend is just recovering from the Goldberg loss. Once he gets back on his feet, the Fiend could be up on that level. Seth Rollins can be up on that level. AJ Styles. Now, AJ's planning on retiring in a couple of years, but use him like you can. He's a main event talent at the maximum. And him and Roman do great matches and like just turn face, and then it's a completely different dynamic than the last time they fought. Same thing with Bayley and Banks. But I think a heel Roman is going to start getting him cheered later on. Mm-hmm. That's what a good heel eventually get cheered, and then he'll turn face, and then the process continues and continues.
And AJ even said on this match, he said, or talking about the last match actually at SummerSlam, he was like, people was wondering, he said I was even shocked. Everybody was shocked, and even us in the locker room where we didn't expect it. And he said, everybody's trying to figure out is he heel, And he said, I don't know if I'd call him heel. He said he came out there, wrecked everyone, left like shirt said. And he said, I don't know if I'd call it a heel. I'd just call that a badass. I mean, and he's kind of right. Like you don't know, but then some of the moves he made going into this week and at Payback.
Yeah, it showed that
you can see the heel, but like the coming out there and being unfair, like a face or even a bad A, just be like, yeah, give me that contract. I'm signing it. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, what you think we should do? And then just wait around. And then right here, middle of the match, the whole rings broke. The referee, apparently, whenever the ring breaks, the referee just goes flying out of there. Like, he's done. He's out the whole night. He's on injured
That's
reserve.
the oldest
It happened in the Big Show and Braun Strowman thing. Refs just gone. Like, he don't even take the ball. He just, he just loses his legs, looks like a baby deer, and falls out of the ring. But apparently, he's on IR for the season. Like, that just don't know how that happens. But, it does every time. But, yeah, he comes out there, just give me the paper, sign, metal chair.
I support the face and heel dynamic. New Japan, they don't have faces or heels. They let the crowd decide who they want to boo and cheer. I think in wrestling, you need a good guy and you need a bad guy. Now, what makes a person a good guy or a bad guy can change throughout time. Stone Cold was like an anti-hero. He acted like a heel, but he got cheered. And that was the thing about Roman, was he got booed, but he acted like a face. Mm-hmm. And so was he heel, was he a face? And that's why Triple H said that, is every time someone asked him about Roman's reaction, or Vince or Stephanie, they always said, well, we don't really do the heel and face. Yes, you do. It's ingrained in wrestling design. There will always be a face and there will always be a heel. You're not ever going to have that not in wrestling, in my opinion. No. I mean, you might have it where the lines are blurred. You might have it where it's flip-flopped.
Well, like the Stone Cold thing, then like you said, whenever you put him up against The Rock, it's pretty obvious. You got this cocky, show off that nobody likes, that, he's just it. And then you got, just the guy that's here to put him down. You ain't all this top stuff you talk, and same thing. Then when you have the Vince feud, it's like, well, I mean, of course.
Well, of course, Vince.
This guy's got the authority, and he's just letting everybody know it. And then he's like, I'm here to show everybody that he ain't the authority. I don't have to abide by the rules.
Well, let's look at it like this way: you have Hulk Hogan type of face, Stone Cold type of face.
Yeah.
Have Ric Flair type of heel, which we're talking about Ric Flair when he was actually hated.
Yeah, like Randy Orton, like almost.
Like Randy Orton, I guess, is a classic Ric Flair heel today. Yeah. He's hated. He's a jerk. Everybody hates him. Then you have Kofi, that you kind of get mixed reactions. Those are the two types, and there's multiple ways you could do a face and heel dynamic. But in my opinion, that's always going to be the core. But I don't think he's looked as good as he has right now with Paul by his side and just how he's acting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the heel, but he's going to be one of those heels that's like, he's going to set the company on fire. I don't think Roman's going to lose that title until WrestleMania. Prediction right now: Roman's not going to lose it until WrestleMania.
That's the prediction. Like you said, the good guy's going to win. It may be the Fiend. By that point, he's built up a little bit more stronger. And then
I want Big E to get it. I think Big E could do it. That's the second member of the New Day that's got a world title. I don't know if Xavier ever get a world title. I don't see him ever be. But then again, I never saw Kofi as that guy until Kofi started winning some good matches. And I was like, Kofi's really good. So maybe it will happen. I hope WWE, because that would be cool. Each member of the New Day have a world title slot. They're also some of the best tag teams ever. So, I think that's one of the reasons, the New Day's still a thing, but it's not. I wouldn't break up the New Day. They're a great tag team.
I think that's one you just can't ever break up. That you can't, unless it's something like this where it's natural event, like actual real, IRL. But as far as in the character, as far as breaking up the characters and making one turn on the other, I don't think you can ever do that.
It's like doing away with the Dudleys.
Yeah, like that, or their rivals, the Usos, of course, they're family, so you can't really family. But
there's just some people that are tag team people for life, and that's a good thing, because those people are often the best tag teams.
Yeah, some of the legends. You're like this. You think tag team, and you're like these guys.
Yeah, you have some tag teams that come in there, but they split up in 3 or 4 years. Yep. Edge and Christian are a legendary tag team.
Yep.
Edge and Christian both had their own legendary singles career. And so it's like that. But then you think of the Dudleys. And now Bubba Ray, I'll give him this. has a great singles career going after he left WWE. And
Yeah,
then
I
after,
saw him the other night on Ring of Honor. They were playing it on like Fox 23 or something like that. I
yeah,
was like,
he's a
hey,
great,
look there.
great.
I was like, there's one of the Dudleys.
But yeah, like the Usos, for example, just people. There's some people that are just so good as the tag team,
Yep.
it makes no sense to split them up.
Side
So
note on the Dudley thing, he got the old the technique from that video on Instagram that goes around every so often. The old dick twist. I was trying to remember if he said no. Yeah, the old dick twist. You know, grab his dick and twist it. That's what happened to him when he got quartered and the dude just grabbed it, gave him the old dick twist.
ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
it's getting late. Ain't it?
I was like, I hadn't seen that in a while. I mean, which I think you really don't see it. It may have been like New Japan or maybe Ring of Honor when I was watching it one time
There's
before.
some guy that does it for every dead gum match, and I don't get it.
It may be that dude. I
But,
don't know. He looks like a guy. He looks like a guy that will have the old dick twist every match. He just has that look
he
to it.
does, doesn't he?
No, not. Which is it? Bubba Ray? Is he?
Bubba Ray is the one. Devon's retired.
Yeah.
Devon
Okay.
retired when the tag team retired.
Yeah.
But
Okay. It's Bubba Ray.
Bubba
It's Bubba Ray.
wanted to do one more singles run, I think.
Yeah.
So
It
he
was
went to
Bubba Ray.
and he's done one there before, so they let him come back. He's like a
Yeah.
producer.
But not him. Like I said, I think the other guy. I think I've seen him do it before. I don't know. Like I
Yeah,
said,
no, I know who you're talking about. He looks legit like we're going to discuss that off stream. But you know, I rate this match a 3.5 stars. It's better than their previous one at
way
SummerSlam.
better.
So, do you have anything to
Ring,
add?
the ring breaking. I mean, that was just.
That was awesome.
I didn't expect him. Even though you can see that happening, I didn't expect it to happen.
Me too.
And then and then the going outside the ring. I think that was great. The fact that they, it was a match where they could go outside the ring, but then come back in to finish it. That was perfect. And doing all that, and then letting Roman just sit and wait while they do that. And honestly, I really was worried for a second there whenever Braun tackled him off
Braun,
the
I'm like,
whenever he tackled him off there through the table. I was like, now the table, or I guess there was some tables underneath there, what they fell on, because they had the cloth over it. But like when he landed, that shoulder was like so this, and like I know it's gonna be like that if you're laying on something, but at the same time, it like that shoulder was just like right here, just up next to his cheek, just about like up near his jaw, and he wasn't moving it. And which I know he's supposed to probably stay still, but he was like moving this arm and kind of like moving around, but yet this shoulder was staying in place like he was not. I was like, oh, I thought it may have got, just popped up out of place, a shoulder blade or something effed up. I was like, oh, I hope he's not hurt, because it just looked weird to see his.
yeah, it looked bad. It looked bad.
And when he was laying there, and then I was watching when he got up too. I was like, which you could hear him. And I thought I heard him kind of moan there for what I was like, oh, he may actually be hurt. But then
oh crap!
I was listening to see if you could hear him talking about if he was gonna be like, "Hey, you good?" But I couldn't hear him because they were pretty close on the audio. But he
Yeah.
gets, and they go walking around, and I was like, he was kind of holding it, like he wasn't doing it or not hold it, but like just he was holding it straight. He wasn't doing much with that arm, so I was like, I was still kind of watching that whole time. Then he finally started using it. I was like, okay, I
So
think
did I. So I was nervous
when they got up in the corner, and then to hit that superplex, I think is
Yeah.
what they hit, right?
Super play, yeah. Super play.
Now I was like, okay, he's good. Now you get up there and hit a superplex. I mean, you all right? And yeah, and then he got up there and Roman comes out. Don't pin him, by the way. I saw that coming too. I was like, yep, he's definitely pinning Ron.
Well, that was the thing that made me love the match even more, is they're not screwing over the Fiend again.
Which I think you said was going to happen, didn't you? I think you said that he was going.
That they're going to pin.
Yep.
That's a smart thing about
it. Smart storytelling. Yep.
One of the best things about a triple threat match. So you can have you can have 3 people in there are great stars, but if you have 2 that are just a little bit better, like the pin. Why waste a good talent? Like when a star gets pinned, it hurts them.
Yep.
It's gonna hurt them. But with that, let's bring this to an end. What is the final grade for Payback 2020 in your opinion, Patric?
What did we get SummerSlam? Was it B-? It was, I believe.
B-. A B comes before B minus or after.
I might even say B plus though. I don't. Yeah, you know, A is pretty strong, but
A's are pretty strong, but B
but
plus.
I think B plus. I mean, I just like. I thought it was very even. It was a whole lot better than we thought it was gonna. You know, we thought
Oh
it.
yeah, we cracked on it all last episode.
Right, we were just like, it's just gonna be a throw together of all the.
It's gonna be
And we
trash.
thought, and there wasn't an Intercontinental for SummerSlam. Was there? Right? Remember the what? Was it one?
No, they had it on SmackDown.
And then it wasn't on.
It was on
Fifth
paper.
either.
It was on SmackDown
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't get it. Jeff Hardy's your new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
I had mixed emotions about that. I'm an AJ Styles guy, if you don't know. I feel like they cut his range short of what it
Yeah.
could be. He had a good match with Matt Riddle, Daniel Bryan, some other cat. But I didn't watch his one with Jeff. But like AJ Styles is the guy that can put on great matches. What's the best thing known for about the IC Championship? Great matches.
Yeah.
World title.
Which Jeff can do too, you know, but
Jeff can do it too. It's just the fact that it was done on a non-pay-per-view.
yeah.
It was sneaky. I don't even remember a title match being posted on Twitter. So I see a picture of Jeff Hardy holding up the IC title on Twitter, and I'm like, hold up now. I missed one episode of SmackDown, and y'all gonna pull a quickie on me. No. But yeah, I think he's going to get a world title. Jeff, they might have changed the plans, but the plans were originally when he came back to be a world champion again. Jeff still has that star power to pull it off. Everybody would love it. No one would really complain about it. It's Jeff Hardy. It's his last. It's probably his career is on its last leg anyway.
I think it's speaking of the Hardys. Side note, different company, but I think his brother's got a good little feud going there with Sammy, which I'm liking AEW. I hadn't caught much of it here recent because they've been changing. Speaking of which, they were on Thursday night this past week. I don't know if they're going to do Thursday.
The NBA Finals.
Okay, and see, NXT's doing tomorrow night, by the way, which will be ain't that a fatal 4-way for the championship? Yeah, it is. That's the one. Yeah.
Yes, I want to watch that. I'm glad you reminded me.
But yeah, I hadn't called as much like for a little while there. I was like into all 3 hours or no 2 hours.
No,
I mean 2 hours too. Yeah, 7 and 9.
I'm really into it too.
But I haven't watched it as close here lately. But I'm still, I'm still into it, and that's a good feud that Hardy has.
I switched to a streaming service and canceled my cable, and ever since then, I haven't really watched wrestling but pay-per-views. I just need to get back in the habit of record. I'm going to watch this when I'm eating supper because I love AEW. I love the style of wrestling they provide. I think it's a perfect yin and yang to WWE. Like, say WWE's having a bad storytelling week, and a lot of times they do. You can go watch AEW, and you're almost guaranteed that it's a lot more story-based. Like, one of the best matches in this past year was Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. That match had so much storytelling, so much goofiness in it.
I hate how missed he is against Brody Lee. Apparently, he just like
got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
Well, he's taking a break.
I figured it's about time. I was like, when's he gonna lose this thing? Like, surely you're gonna make him lose.
Cody has actually revealed that he doesn't plan on being a wrestler for much longer. Maybe 5 more years.
Just kind of over the company. Yeah, but he's doing good over the company right now. So
yeah, but he wants to be like his dad. His dad transitioned into kind of helping run WCW until WCW got taken over by all these people that don't really understand wrestling, and that's when it kind of went down the crapper. But I think he's a great star. I hate to see it kind of go, but at the same time, AEW has kind of almost gotten like WWE, where there's so many talented people. You're like, well, now, like, we can't push everybody.
Yeah,
that's something wrestling fans, and me included, don't understand sometimes. Is the fact that you can't push everybody. Someone's taking that pin when you go out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't protect everybody in every match. But I've really enjoyed AEW. If Cody's career does end, I would really like to see him with one world championship title run. I know he crossed that out for himself early on in the career.
Yeah.
But wrestlers never stick to the stipulations given to them in a match. Retirement matches are the most famous. Loser leaves town match. Sonya Deville will be back in within a year, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
If she's feeling well, she got attacked personally, but
Yep.
that never happens. There's always a wrestler that comes out of retirement, blah 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 blah.
Well, in her case, she won't be Sonya Deville. What rumors are saying. So it's they always find a reason to justify it or some kind
Oh
of
yeah. Well,
some
crap.
kind of loophole, some crack in some flaw in the
You remember the Authority?
which well.
Triple H, Stephanie, Seth.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that was
They lose
right
the
before I
match
started.
to leave. I said they lose a match that disbanded the group and made them leave. Within a bloody month, they're back. That was some bad storytelling on W. Don't put that in the stipulation if you didn't mean it. And it was one of the things. Well, John Cena must tell them they can come back, and it was like, when has that ever been a stipulation in a loser leaves town match that the guy who beats the guy can be like, oh, you can come on back? But they had somebody with a steel chair and they were about to beat him with it. I think it was Dolph, poor Dolph. Yeah. And John's like, they can come back. And then Triple H and Stephanie are like, I guess they're randomly backstage when they're not supposed to be, when they're fired. Yeah. They come out and they do the little drinking like champagne, and Triple H is a great heel. Triple H just gives us horrible smile that I remember pissing me off.
Was that when Seth was
That's when Seth was world champ, first time,
and with the Authority. Is that?
Yeah, and then Daniel Bryan was supposed to disband the Authority, but they kept the Authority alive until John Cena beat him or something. I can't remember. Or no, Roman. The Authority went through 3 good guys.
And they had Kane.
They had
on their side. Kane. Authority. I guess that was Authority Kane too, right? Whenever Seth.
Yeah, that was Corporate Kane, where
Corporate Kane.
His American Bad A style gimmick, where he was human. But I progress. Let's go ahead and wrap it up at 56 minutes. We were aiming for 20. I'm not even gonna lie, but it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoy it. That's the whole reason we're doing it this way. We'll promote it more next time. Me and Patric talk behind the scenes and when we plan on starting to do the live streams, because the live streams add a lot more fluidness.
No, so
we can do it. It's just so much easier to do for me and for him. We can just hop on, talk what we felt about a pay-per-view, and upload it instead of me and him talking about it, downloading the recording, adding pictures to it, doing all my editing, and then uploading it in 2 or 3 more days because it takes me a long time to upload. So this is going to be easier for everybody. It's hopefully going to get the content out faster to y'all so y'all can enjoy it and love it. I do have a live stream coming out Wednesday. It's Lego Indiana Jones. I hope you guys can enjoy that. It'll be Wednesday, 6 p.m. Remember that time, people. But without a shadow of a doubt, we give SummerSlam Payback. Where's the thing? Okay. Payback. I was trying to figure out how to stop the stream. Payback 2020, a B+ rating. Thank you guys. Please go like Patric's Twitch. Anything you want to plug real quick, Patric?
That's it. Instagram. Right. Maybe Instagram, but
Go ahead and tell me your Instagram username. We'll have it written next time.
There's one's the same as the name in the bottom left corner.
All right, yeah, just go to Crappy P.
And there's also P_Lang98 personal, the one I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers with.
So hey, you're close. I think you're close. So I can't remember. Somewhat.
Only 100 and something more, but.
All right.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. All right. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. And until the next video, I will see you guys later.